Hello.
Wait for me.
No, I don't want to.
Fuck off. Hello.
Hi.
I watched Mean Girls on Friday.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I haven't
love
seen it
Mean
since we
Girls.
watched it last time.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love those old like chick flicks from the 2000s,
Yeah.
like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Legally Blonde, Mean Girls, like all of those ones. So good.
Yeah.
ECA, that was also a good one. That's like
But I think
2010s.
Mean Girls is the best. My favorite.
Mine is Legally Blonde, but Mean Girls is top two.
When I see the plastics, I always think about you and your friends.
Which one am I?
Huh?
Who am I?
I don't know. You're all mixed.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Especially, I feel like, especially when I'm in my ballroom essence and like with the girls, it can be very much that.
Yeah.
But I like it.
In a fun way.
Yeah.
Not in a, like you're actually horrible people.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Trans and Transparent. Today, we have some fun topics for you.
Yeah.
Maybe not fun, but interesting. Anyways.
Interesting. Educational.
Yes.
Helpful.
Yes. We're
Seductive.
gonna talk a little bit about how we knew that. Did you say seductive?
Yes. I was hoping you would catch on.
Yeah. How we knew that we were trans and some tips on how to know if you're trans or not.
Yeah.
It can be a confusing path. We've already talked a little bit about it before in previous episodes, but not like really getting into it, giving you some tips and just telling our stories basically, and also like how we picked our names. I was going to say, but you have the same name.
I have the same name.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk a little bit about like names and stuff like that. And I guess like how to figure out how to figure out what you want, what you need when it comes to names, how you go about it, how you talk to your friends about it, how do you talk to your family about it and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So keep on watching, keep on listening, get some popcorn, get some drinks, get some vodka, whatever you want. I don't know. And keep on keeping on.
Tell me how much you love me. Tell me you'll never doubt me. Tell me how much I changed your life. Say you can't live without me.
By the way, as we like to mention, if you're not watching us, you can watch us while we're talking on YouTube or Spotify.
Yes.
If you'd like to. You can have us in the background while you're studying or
Yeah.
maybe not studying.
And if you find us ugly, you can listen anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's true.
There you go.
All right, let's get into it. Oh my god.
Why was that low-key the intro to White Lotus?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, that one's more like... No, I forget exactly how to do it. Whatever. It's okay. Let's keep it going.
All right, since you came out first,
Yes.
you go first telling us how you knew you were trans.
Okay. Clock it. No. Honestly, it took some time. It really did. Like, it was kind of an interesting journey, and it was difficult pinpointing all the different sides of my identity that kind of forms my outwards expression, if that makes sense. Because for a long time, I identified as a just like feminine gay man.
Fish.
That too. No, now I'm fish.
Okay, you were a bird.
I was a bird.
Yeah.
I transformed. I had died and I had crystallized, and I came back as a flailing fish. Yes.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so I kind of had to sit with everything, with like how I felt on the inside, how I was presenting outwardly, and kind of pick apart all of the things that went into my identity, if that makes sense. Because at the time before I came out, I wore makeup still. I wore some stuff that wasn't typically.
You were very feminine.
I was very feminine at the time.
I also remember you saying all the time that you wanted to be treated as a woman.
Yeah.
Or specifically with men, you wanted men to treat you like a woman.
Yeah, for sure.
which
I hated this whole 50-50 thing.
very much about him.
Yes, no, very much so. But also just in general, I feel like it was hard because there were some things I didn't mind, and then there were some things that I really minded, but I kind of didn't know what was what. Like, am I just a feminine gay man who likes makeup, or is it more than that? And it was also the time of like a lot of influencers, like gay men starting to wear makeup. So I thought I was just one of them kind of situation.
Yeah.
I didn't really pick apart that it was more than that until quite a while later.
I think it's so difficult to know because some people know from a very, very young age.
That's the thing.
So I feel like when you're older and you haven't really had that realization or even any thoughts like that when you were younger, it's hard to know what you want and what is maybe just some random thoughts or maybe just something you want to try and what is, okay, I'm actually not myself right now. I actually want to transition.
Exactly. For me, it came a lot more in the like, after a while, I started to like consider the things that made me uncomfortable, especially within dating. For me, it was actually like, I had to look a lot at my dating history and how I felt when dating people, because the way I was treated was a lot of times the things that I did not enjoy myself about myself. Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
So, for example, I remember looking back now, I can clearly pinpoint it's dysphoria. But back then I didn't realize it. But like I have always hated like body hair on me. Like I've always hated it. I've always hated whenever I feel like I'm not looking put together. I don't like kind of. I also did not like being treated. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like when people, like guys that I was dating, kind of treated me like a man.
Yeah.
In a sense.
But this is like the thing is also all of these things you can still experience but not be trans.
Yes.
So it's so difficult to know because I've also never wanted to like wear dresses, for example, or anything like that, which is common for just masked lesbians. So I didn't know if that was I'm just a masculine lesbian, and I feel like a lot of maybe like bottoms or twinks also don't like facial hair on or like body hair on themselves.
Exactly.
So it's not weird.
Exactly.
So it's like how do you know if it's dysphoria or if it's just like I'm just masculine or I'm just feminine, you know?
That's the thing.
So those are good signs, but then you have to like dig a bit deeper.
Exactly.
Like,
and kind of what I wanted to get to was that for me, a lot of it was like, yes, I experience a lot of dysphoria, I do, but maybe not, like that wasn't necessarily what gave it away for me to realize that I was trans. For me, it was a lot more about the euphoria. And we've talked about this before, that like for me, the day that I got up in like full drag or whatever, and like actually presented as a woman, I was like, oh my God, this is how I'm supposed to feel. Because it just felt like everything kind of clicked for me. Like everything I had been feeling up to that made so much more sense to me after that moment. So that's kind of how I at least realized 100%. Like I had thought the thought for a long time.
Thought the thought.
But I hadn't ever fully gone all the way with that expression yet. Yeah. So once I did, it kind of just fully cemented itself for me. And after that, I, experimented more and more with it. And I was immediately like, yeah, no, but this is who I've always been.
Yeah. I think that's like the most helpful thing, because you can try to like identify the dysphoria and what's dysphoria, what's just insecurities, what's me being uncomfortable. But what typically really helps is just to try like, okay, I'm going to try wear boxers for an entire day and see how that makes me feel. Yeah. And, when I wore a suit to like a thing the first time, I just felt so good. And that also helped me like realize, and then just trying to bind my chest, seeing how that feels. And then that also feeling so nice, then you know that, okay, I'm moving into the right direction.
Exactly.
But then, of course, also looking at the dysphoria itself.
Yeah. I mean, if you wake up every day and you're like, why the fuck do I have a penis? Or why do I have titties?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a sign.
Yeah.
might be. However,
But
it's not always that clear cut, you know?
exactly, because the confusing part is some people, maybe some days they like having a penis and other days they don't. So that's where it gets very confusing. And or I have a hard time like imagining how that feels, since I am very much just the trans man, you know. So it's for some people it takes a lot of time to know what they want.
For sure. And I feel like it's hard for most people to figure it out fully, and it takes time. It really does take time of experimentation as well, like trying new things and seeing what feels comfortable, what doesn't. One thing that I've heard a lot of times is like people, because I felt the same way, so this is why I'm bringing it up. But I remember I had a few wigs before the one that I put on properly for the first time.
The silver one and the pink one.
Oh, the pink one, yeah.
Wait,
no, but I had a black one that was like.
But do you mean the pink one that was like curly and like a real wig? Because I mean the you had like the bob short ones that we used to play around with. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I remember that. No, not that.
But those were so funny.
Those were really funny. Party City wigs. Very
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you loved playing with them.
Yes, that's true. It was always a fun moment. But those were never, because that was more of a joke.
Yeah.
That wasn't for real. But I remember I had like wigs, but then sometimes I would put them on and then I would be like, well, now I just feel like more of a man. And because hear me out. Don't lose me here. But basically, what I noticed was that for me, I need the full thing. I need the glam, the beat, the outfit, everything has to go with it.
Yeah.
Like when I only have one part, I sometimes can be a little bit more dysphoric because I feel like it's almost like dress up.
I get that.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I've heard other people who I suspect are trans around me say the same thing. And I was like, I felt the same way. So I'm expecting a little bit of a, hey y'all, in the future. Not naming names.
But I fully
But
get that.
there are some people.
If I'm like wearing a packer, for example, but not any binding tape, it just looks so weird to me. I'm like, what the fuck? I just feel like a freak who's trying to hide who I really am. Which is not true, but like that's how I feel. So I fully get you. But if I'm wearing like a t-shirt and then boxers and a packer, then I'm like, okay, now I feel good.
Oh, but that's what I mean. It's like that half situation sometimes I think can be more dysphoric.
Yeah.
Until you do the full thing.
Yeah.
So then that's also like a weird thing to navigate kind of and figure out. But I've noticed that sometimes you just have to do the full thing, and then once you've done that, you're like, oh, okay.
Because some people, maybe they expect to like, I hope I'm gonna feel so euphoric when I bind my chest, but then maybe they just feel anxious or like it feels weird, and that's completely valid too, because you never know how you're gonna react to something. And trying something, like everyone's different, especially if you're like an anxious person, then you might have a bad mental reaction, or it might just be too much. Because I remember when like the first day on testosterone for me I was super anxious. I couldn't focus on being happy because I was just so scared still. But that doesn't mean that testosterone wasn't right for me, because I'm happier than ever now, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's important to try to experiment and try different things, but not expect or feel a need to react positively to everything.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Did you want to talk more about your story? I feel like I'm just keep interrupting you and just
No,
adding things.
It's fine. It's fine. No, I like it. You should.
Okay.
But but basically, just to shortly summarize, was kind of like I started to realize, basically, because of all of the euphoria I felt when I was all up in it, I was like, well, okay, well, this feels right for me. And then, like I said, everything kind of clicked. And so that's when I was like fully sure. but it took a long time. I remember I experimented in different ways also leading up to that, you know. I remember I changed my gender on Tinder so that I would swipe on straight men, you know, and that was very euphoric somehow. Like I think I had like pictures of me in makeup. I mean, so they were like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, just trying something out. But you know, like that kind of stuff. And then I also just realized like how much I loved it for myself. Like of course in the beginning I think I like a lot of people are like, oh, you don't base your transness on how other people treat you. Yeah, of course. However, that can be a good indicator in the beginning, just how you want to be treated. But then I just during the course of me transitioning, I just fell more and more in love with myself. And every time I've looked in the mirror lately, I feel so much more at home in my body than I ever felt before.
Yeah.
So, but it takes time, like experimenting and seeing what's right and what's not for you, kind of, and figuring out like hair and makeup and clothing and all of these things. Like experimenting with that helps a lot in figuring out how you feel about yourself and your identity, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's just so weird now, like when I look in the mirror, especially now when I have so much shorter hair, because I always wanted to have really short hair, but I just feel like I just had longer hair because I feel like people said that it looks better on me, or that they want me to have longer hair, or that it's just more aesthetic. Maybe it fits me better. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to cut it too short. Also because I want to wait until the testosterone has changed my face a little bit, and I want facial hair and all this. But now when I've actually done it, I recognize myself so much more in the mirror, and like I'm becoming more and more this person that I've always wanted to be, and that I've always seen myself as, and like that I've always like made my sim in The Sims look like. I'm starting to become that person.
I get that.
So I'm just super excited to see what I will look like in the future, and I'll probably feel even more like myself, you know, further into my transition. And that's also something that helped me so much before transitioning. Like I remember how scared I was and how anxious I was and unsure and everything. But if I tried my best to take all that to the side and just focus on the future and focus on an average day in my life when I'm done with my transition, will that make me, like, does that image make me feel happy? That everyone is fine with me being trans, everyone is used to my new name, pronouns, and I'm fully done with my transition, I'm happy. Like, is that something that I want? Because usually what makes us so scared is just the journey to get there, and to have to come out to people and to medically transition. And what if this goes wrong? And what if I change my mind? And what if will I have surgeries and la 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 la? Instead of just focusing on what is it that you actually want out of it. Of course, you shouldn't just focus on the destination. You also focus on the journey and the transition, getting to know yourself, all of this. But still just trying to imagine the life that you want in 10 years. If you could choose anything at all, like unlimited, what's it called? Like possibilities, or yeah, you can change whatever you want about yourself.
Yeah.
What would you change? Or like, how would you see yourself in 10 years? And just the thought of that made me so happy back then. And it made me so happy that it's actually possible for me to be a man. Because I just always settled for being a woman, because I thought that was just how I was born, and I can't change that, even though I knew trans people existed. But I was like, but I'm not trans, so I can't change it. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
So just thinking that, wait, I actually can have a penis in the future, that just made me so happy. Like, I can have a deep voice and a beard. I've always wanted that, you know? It's possible. What the hell? And that just made me so incredibly happy and like excited for life. Like, oh, I can do anything. Like, I have one life. What do I want out of it, you know? So then, of course, the anxiety always came back and haunted me.
Yeah.
But I just kept going back to that thought about what I want as future me, because it was still like early on in my life, or I'm still early on in my life. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. Getting old. So old.
back problems and
Whole
everything.
24 and back problems and all.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But I do have a good example of like what you were talking about, because I remember you and I, we had this like hangout night. We were both talking about like what if we're both trans?
Yeah.
And I just remember like one of the key questions that I feel like we both kind of said yes to was, if you could just switch your gender right now, like without any, like if you could just wake up tomorrow and you would
The gender you want
yeah.
to be. Yeah.
would you? And we both were like, yeah.
Yeah. And you had to stay that way forever, basically.
And I think that's a kind of good, it's a good like
Yeah. Because I think
sign.
everyone wants to try,
Yeah.
but do you actually want to stay that way forever?
Mm,
And I was like, fuck yeah, that would be awesome.
that's the thing.
So that's a pretty good indicator
Yeah.
whether it's something that you want.
Yeah. Because 3 years later after that conversation, look at us now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Was it 3 years ago?
maybe 4.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
that
crazy.
long,
No.
but it feels like it was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
yeah. But were you done with your story?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Because I already kind of talked a little bit about
Yeah.
how it was for me, but I don't know what to bring up because we've already talked a lot about our past and how we used to express ourselves. So I don't know. I know not everyone has heard it, but I don't want to be like repetitive for the people who already heard it.
I get you.
But basically, I used to dress very masculine when I was like a child, like 6 years old to up until like I was 11 maybe. And that's when I felt like I was fully myself. So then I've always, like when I started questioning my gender, I always also looked back at that, like when I was a child, and think about how I felt, what I wanted to be, like the people I hung out with, the people I used to look up to were always men. And then that was like helped me basically realize that I was trans, or that I am trans.
I feel like you were also the most like queer and trans looking kid you could possibly imagine. Like looking at your like
Yeah.
childhood photos, it's so obvious.
Yeah, it is.
But it wasn't to you for a while.
No, and like not every trans person has that experience either. Like not everyone is gonna be like, if you're trans man, you might not have been super masculine as a child, and that's completely fine too. Like that's not the case for every single person.
No.
So if that's not the case for you and you're still questioning, then that's not an indicator that you're not trans.
Exactly.
either.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But it can be helpful if that's the case. And then I've always been like very masculine presenting, and then always like tried to be feminine and see how that feels, because sometimes it did feel good to be feminine and like do my makeup and do my hair and wear a dress. Like I would never deny that has always made me dysphoric. Like sometimes it was fun,
Yeah.
and that's fine too. Like I still have feminine parts about myself, even though they're very buried now. They might come out sometimes, but like I think that also takes time with your transition.
I think so too. I think in the beginning you want to really like focus on transitioning.
Yeah, exactly. So
Like one of the things I'm looking forward to the most, for example, of my transition is like, yes, I can dress quite feminine, or, you know, I'm good at doing my hair and makeup and I like it and I think it's fun and I love feeling very in that. But one of the things I'm the most excited for is like when I get to a point in my transition where I feel like I can wear really masculine clothing without
Yeah.
feeling like I'm a man.
yeah,
Does that
same.
make sense?
Yeah,
Like, I like the idea of just being able to wear whatever the hell I want, but still being seen super femme, regardless.
yeah,
Because it's like, we're people. It's hard to, like, always be put in a box one way or the other.
yeah,
And I think that's also hard to figure out, like, your feelings about transitioning when you feel those kind of
exactly.
opposites as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
And
just
that's-
because you're a trans man, for example, doesn't mean you have to be super masculine all the time. They can be super feminine trans guy
Exactly.
and still be a guy.
Yeah.
So
I know a lot of trans men who like wear a shit ton of makeup and all of this, and I
Yeah.
think that's fab. You
Yeah.
know, I don't see them as less of a man because of
because
that.
if a cis gay man can do that, then if you're trans, you're still a man,
Exactly.
like any other man.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because identity and expression have a lot to do with each other, but they don't always have to completely
Yeah,
match either.
yeah,
Especially keeping in mind that trans people are also queer people,
yeah.
and queer culture is kind of also about saying fuck you to norms,
Mm,
in my opinion,
it is.
you know? So that's
So-
how I see it, at least.
Yeah,
But I can understand for some people, like I can understand why it takes a lot of time for some people.
yeah. I feel like
To
I would want
transition.
like a really, really masculine body before being able to like wear a crop top, for example. But then once I feel like I built up my body and I'm far into my transition, had top surgery and been on testosterone for years, then I feel like I'm gonna still feel like a man and feel masculine even if I have a pink shirt.
I feel like
But now I would
I
never
feel
do
like you're
that.
gonna rock like a good like gym crop top in the future. Show
Yeah.
off those abs. I feel like that's gonna be your vibe.
Yeah, probably.
I could see that for you.
Yeah. But so yeah, I've always been like very masculine presenting lesbian, basically. But then for me, the initial thought was I was just randomly thinking about what I wanted to wear. And for some reason, I just didn't want to wear a crop top. And I just thought, oh, it would be nice to wear like a see-through shirt if I had like a flat chest. And then that thought just spiraled into me thinking about what I would want my body to look like, and just walking around, just thinking back on my life. Like it just felt like the universe was like, it's time for you to realize, wake up.
Yeah.
Like you're ready now.
Uh-huh.
And then just sending me all these emotions and thoughts that I just couldn't let go. I just became obsessed and just thought about it so much. Like thinking back on how I was as a child and how I've felt in past relationships and what I felt uncomfortable in, and like everything. And for me, like I've mentioned before in the podcast, is that I've always had like a lot of bottom dysphoria, which also helped me a lot to realize what I want. Because I've always said, like years before I knew that I was trans, I always said that if I could choose, I wouldn't have anything between my legs. I would just have like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
But then when I started thinking about it more, I was like, actually, I do want a penis, but I just never wanted to admit it to myself because it feels embarrassing, like weird. And like, I'm not trans, so why would I think that, you know?
Right. Delusion.
Yeah, exactly. So I just kept thinking about all of that and my pronouns, and then people, how people treat me, and then my voice started to like annoy me a lot. But it was just so scary and just felt so surreal to think about it. Like what the fuck is happening? Like,
What the fuck?
am I trans? What the hell? Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I just couldn't realize that it was the truth. So it took a lot of time and like me journaling and just watching videos, learning about trans people, to like come around and be like, okay, maybe I actually am, you know. And then also obviously talking to you about it, since you were already out
Yeah.
at that time. And then I just, like we talked about, just tried experimenting with, like we talked about what name I would have, which we're going to get into in a minute. And then I bought a bunch of boxers, tried to bind my chest, kept watching a bunch of like 1 year on testosterone videos on YouTube, and just binge watching them. And every time I did, it just made me so excited to like start testosterone in the future. But while all of this was happening, I was also like super scared. I remember crying like so much in our apartment because I was just terrified of like having to transition, which I know is takes a long time takes a long time, first of all. And then also like having to come out to people and then having to tell my family and all of that was just like too much. So just taking one step at a time and not just thinking about everything at once also definitely helps. Like after experimenting, just talk to a friend and then maybe talk to a family member, whether that's a cousin or a sibling. If you have someone you trust, like that makes the biggest difference.
And there's no timeline there either.
Exactly.
Like, for example, for me, I told 2 of my sisters very early, but then I told my other sister and my mom very late.
Yeah.
But that's how I needed it to happen for me to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You don't owe anybody anything either
Exactly.
in your transition. Like, you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for other people around
Yeah.
you.
Just
But
take
one
it
day at
by
a
day.
time helps a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And I also thought that, like, after coming out to you and my close friends, they were like, oh, when are you going to tell your family? And I was like, I'm going to wait until I can start testosterone. So I'm going to wait like a few years till I can come out to them. But then after a few months, I was like, okay, I'm ready now. I have to tell them because also being misgender all the time is not nice.
No.
Once
Especially
you're sure what
yeah.
you want, you're like, okay, now I don't want to wait any longer.
Kind of like cuts in your ear.
Yeah.
It's a little like, ooh.
But then also, like for me, I was, like I said, really, really anxious. Even into my medical transition, I was super anxious and scared that I would regret it in the future, which is very common and like normal for trans people because it's just a human thing to worry about. Like whatever change you're doing in your life, you know? But always also knowing that it's okay to change your mind also. Like, I'm not saying you should start any hormone treatment without being sure, but then also, like, sometimes it can be nice to just think that, like, nothing is, like, some changes are temporary, but you can always detransition, worst case.
Yeah.
Not
if
that that's the
anything-
goal or anything, but like just knowing that it's a possibility. Like,
It is a possibility. But if anything, also, like, don't be afraid to also take your time without the hormones first and, like, work on your expression and see if it feels right for you.
yeah,
There's no timeline either when it comes to hormones. Like, some
And
people
you can
wait
also
years
start.
before.
Yeah, you can also start small, like microdosing.
Yeah, that too.
Get some mini changes over time, and maybe that feels nice, and then you can increase with time.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to be, okay, now I'm taking full dose testosterone and then my voice is going to change, and then after 1 year I have to get top surgery. Like, you don't even have to get any surgeries if you don't want to. And you don't have to do hormones either, like, at all.
Yeah. The world is your oyster.
Yeah.
Feel free to fuck around and find out.
Oh.
Have a good time.
Oh.
It's your life. I should be a
It's
motivational speaker.
I'm trying to think if there are any tips or any other tips we have for people who are very confused.
I would just say one thing that might help. I've heard people talk about this, and I could actually see it helping as well. Is like writing down all of the things that would make you feel good about transitioning, and that makes you feel excited about the idea of it.
Yeah.
And writing down all of the things that you're nervous about, and then looking at the things that make you nervous and be like actually do a little bit of research on it and see, okay, what am I actually scared of? Is it side effects or whatever? Or is it like, you know what I mean? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in the sense of like, just try to debunk why you're feeling what you're feeling about it, and then see kind of like a pros and cons list.
Yeah. Just to see it in front of you, also, like, written down everything.
Yeah,
And then you can keep on doing that, like, week to week, and see if it changes.
exactly. I think that might help at least.
Pick me up and never put me down. Pick me up and never put me down. Pick me up and never put me down.
All right. We're going to move on to how to pick a name.
So, seeing as I have my birth name,
Yeah.
I would like to ask you how you chose your chosen name.
How I chose my chosen name?
How you chose your chosen.
Well, my name is Benjamin. For those who didn't know, it's not Benji, it's Benjamin. Benji is just a little nickname that I've had from the start, really, because
Yeah.
it just felt easier to say that name.
Mm.
And for my family also, like I remember my dad being like, oh, Benji's a bit easier. It's just like a nickname. It was easier for him to have that as my name instead of Benjamin for some reason.
But Benjamin feels quite, ¿cómo se dice? Oficial.
Oh.
Like it feels quite official. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? In
exactly.
a sense.
Like my name is Robert. Call me Robert.
Mm.
Instead of it's just Rob.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
more casual.
It feels more casual.
Yeah. But my name is Benjamin, and I chose it for me. It was. I think I've thought about it in the past, like what would my name be if I was a man? And then first of all, my mom has a tattoo with a B for my previous name, like my dead name, and then an I for my sister's name. So I kind of wanted to have something starting with B also. And then like my options were kind of limited there.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what am I like? I'm
Bob.
gonna pick Bert or Bob or
Imagine your name was Bob. Bob the trans man.
yeah.
Not to be confused with Bob the drag queen.
And then my history with the name Benjamin is from like when I was a child, and I like every time I play like video games or like more like computer games, I always chose being a man. And I had like my username was B and then T for my friend and then 88 because we were both 8 years old. And then when people asked what my name was, I always said Benjamin because I knew it had to be a masculine name and something on B. And then after that, I remember also like
You have to tell the story.
yeah. Well, when I was like I think I would 13 maybe. I must have been. Like sometimes when I play these games, people, I talked with girls on these computer games, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to chat like off the game, like in real life, but not talk on the phone, but like chat?"
Yeah.
So I said yes, but then I just realized that I have to have like pictures of myself, and then also like a profile, because we used Kik back then, which is like a chatting app, kind of like WhatsApp ish.
Yeah.
So I created a profile there with the name Benjamin, and I took pictures of myself like with my hair up so that it looked like I had short hair with a hat on and everything. Always black and white pictures also. Took some like mirror pics, and then randomly like I took them now and then, just to like update it also. And then I was texting with this girl, and she fully thought that I was like a cis man called Benjamin, and we just texted. We didn't live close to each other. We never met. We never talked on the phone, and yeah, it's basically catfishing, but not actually though, because I was myself. But like at the time,
At the
catfishing.
time. Just withholding the truth.
Exactly. But yeah, that was it basically. And then we just stopped typing after a while. So that's why when I realized I was trans, I was like, okay, I already have a history with this name.
Yeah.
It was like my other personality, like
Your alter ego.
Hannah and Miley, like that was Benjamin. So I was
yeah.
like, okay, I have to pick that name. But I remember us talking also about other names I could have. But for me, I was just, nothing ever seemed right. Like if I chose another name, I would always think about the name Benjamin in the back of my head. So that's why I had to pick that name. And now I can't see myself as anything else.
No. I have such a, it's so funny because obviously I still remember
Mm.
your old name, but I just cannot for the life of me imagine saying that to you now.
Yeah, because actually, my other option would have been what my parents would name me if I was a man, which was Lucas.
Right.
But then for me, that was like a pretty common name. And then I feel like some trans guys also already have that name, which is fine. But like I wanted.
Something a little bit more your own.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I got the name.
You chose well.
Yeah, but
It's a good
also
name.
I also like people choosing just something very random,
Yeah.
like nothing that has to do with their dead name.
Mm.
Because I feel like most people will just pick something that's similar to their dead name,
True.
like from going from Elian to Elliot.
Yeah.
But some people also just want to pick something super random.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't have like there's no pressure to pick something that's close to your dead name, and it's also no pressure to pick something that has to be super cool.
Exactly.
Like it can just be something that you like, something that you feel is pretty, or something that fits you. And it's also okay to like experiment with
For
different
sure.
names. So like ask your friends, can you call me this today?
Yeah.
See how it feels. And then maybe you like it, maybe you don't. So the most important thing is that you feel like it fits you and that it's right, but then also that it takes time to get used to. Like I remember when you called me Benji or started calling me Benji, I just freaked out so much and I didn't want you to
Yeah.
because it was just so scary.
Yeah.
But then eventually I just became used to it and started to like it. And also saying it out loud to myself also helped, even though it made me also freak out and just felt so weird and wrong because I wasn't used to it. Like I remember walking around our apartment alone and being like, hi, I'm Benji, la la la, you know? So yeah, it does take time to get used to it. Like it doesn't have to feel 100% right from the start. And there's no time pressure, and you can always also change your mind. Like I've seen people have a name for a year or two and then they want to change it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And that's also completely fine.
It is.
But try to like think back to maybe there's something from your childhood, like maybe a fictional character or someone from a movie you really liked, or someone you used to know that you really looked up to, or like maybe a teacher, maybe just someone like a celebrity that you thought was really cool. If you have any like an emotional connection to it, it can definitely help to like be proud of it and like
For sure.
feel like it feels right, like you have history with it.
You could also like look at like family names and stuff like this, or like maybe people in your family's middle names or stuff like this that you like as well. Or also ask like if you're comfortable, but like you could ask your parents like, hey, did you ever have another name
Yeah.
in mind for me if I was born in the correct
Yeah,
gender for
exactly.
myself?
Or
like,
if they just have any names that they like a
yeah,
lot.
that might also be nice, you know?
Yeah.
I think that might help a lot as well.
Definitely. So yeah.
Yeah. I thought, or
Or just ask random people, like imagine going up to someone on the street and be like, what name would you give me? Maybe that would be like misgender you or something, but
yeah.
but ask your
You never
friends
know, yeah.
maybe what they think, you know?
Mm.
What would you see me as if I wasn't Benji?
Oh, I don't know. It's hard.
I would see you as like a Jessica or Vanessa or
I mean, I would never pick Jessica just because my sister's
Juliana.
name is Jessica.
yeah, Juliana.
I have one name that I've always liked that that I thought about, but then I decided not to, which is Vivian.
Vivian. Really?
I love the name
I
Vivian.
remember you saying that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's an old woman's name.
I know, but I think it's so fab, and I love Vivian Westwood so much. And I don't know, I just like the name a lot. I think it's very pretty.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I feel like it's very like dark femme kind of vibe, which is very me. So I don't know, I've always enjoyed it, but the thing is, I feel like my name is so gender neutral, and cunty.
Yeah.
No shade. Or I feel like people
very
remember me
special.
from my name.
Yeah,
It's very special.
exactly.
And I also feel like, yeah, no, I've always just really liked my name. And I've never really had any dysphoria connected to my name, to be honest. It never felt weird or out of place.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to force myself to change my name just because I'm trans.
Right. Yeah.
I felt very comfortable and I really love my name. So I was like, you know what? No. And it's also, I connect myself and my personality a lot to my name. So I think that's why I also kept it, because I go for what I want.
Yeah.
I hunt that shit down and I get it, and I get it good. So that's why I was also like, yeah, I'm not planning on
That's
changing
nice.
it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Fits you.
But I'm happy. I'm happy I didn't have like a super masculine name.
Yeah.
Imagine my name was Robert or like John.
Then just be Regina.
True. I could be a Regina.
Yeah. And when it comes to like middle names, like for me, I used to have my parents, like my grandmother's middle names. So then I just took I don't remember exactly, but I took some old family male names instead.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't legally changed mine, but I am going to, and
Yeah.
I do know what I want to change it to. So, but that's just because it's
Fish.
Yes.
Hunter
No, but
fish.
unofficially. No, but it's yeah. I'm gonna change it.
Nice.
Yes. And it's basically just what I had before, but feminine. It's quite easy to change it. So
Yeah.
that's nice. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully these tips were helpful. Unfortunately, we don't have time for a listener's question today because we have to get out of the studio.
Yes. But hopefully y'all found everything we talked about very helpful. And
Yes.
if you want us to talk more about these things, we can do that more in the future. But I feel like we went pretty in depth about these topics.
Yes, make sure to comment what you thought about the episode, and if you have any other suggestions or topics you want us to talk about, you can comment on YouTube or Spotify, or send us a DM on Instagram at Trans and Transparent.
And don't forget to join our Discord group. Link is in our bios.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank y'all so much for listening today, and hopefully we will have you back listening next week on Trans and Transparent.
Oh, I thought you farted.
I did not. That was the building.
The building farted.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all so much. We love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Now that I've cleared my eyes of green, I have